Alright, YouTube, what's going on? Got another setup video coming to you. We are doing a setup for the super late models at Charlotte for the last week of the season. Just kind of go over how I use the sheet, provided it to you guys. You can get started and kind of how I go about it. If you do not have the sheet or do not know the sheet that I'm talking about, I will link the video down below to that sheet in the description. You can just go on there in the description of that video and download it and kind of do what I'm doing here. So first thing I'm going to do is on a 5% track, just get in, load up the iRacing set. Gonna make a couple laps. We're gonna try to keep this quick and exaggerated so you guys can see. Now if I'm doing a setup for myself, then I'm going to be putting in more laps and resetting the track to different track situations a lot more. But I'm just going to kind of go through and show you what I'm looking for and kind of how I'm doing things, just in a quick and easy version here. I'll run a couple laps. I will say that this Charlotte, this setup for me actually isn't too bad. A lot of them are really loose at the tracks, but I can really control this one getting in. It's kind of on the exit. That it kind of gets away from me. But first thing I'm going to do, I got my sheet up. First thing I'm always going to start out with is making it tighter on entry. So we're going to exaggerate this. We're going to bump that up a ton. Got to turn the gas down. We're going to bump that up a ton. Bump that up a ton. And I'm just going to go right down through the list. Just going to go right down through the list that I got here. And click 2 or 3 times on everything that it has. Some of it's already going to be the same, but we're going to tighten this car. Up. And I'm doing this because of the practice that I've done on all the other tracks. I know the general basis of the iRacing setup for me is they are too loose. Especially on entry, they break out. So we're going to tighten it up, make it more drivable. To where we can just kind of... we don't have to fight so much with the times that we were trying to get. See, there's already a quick time, and it felt like a terrible lap. We're even kind of over-rotating on it a little bit. Quick time. And we're bouncing all over the place. So now we slid through the entry of that corner. And we're kind of over-rotating. Feels like it's just kind of... it's going, then it just kind of breaks loose on itself. So normally I would say this is a little too tight. But, I mean, it's really not terrible. So we're going to leave it at that. Come to a halt. Now we're going to move to the middle, and we're going to try to, whenever it breaks loose, we're going to try to catch that a little bit in theory by tightening it up in the middle to where it's not swinging around on us. I got my little cheat sheet up. First thing it says, left rear bump goes down. Take that down. Plus on the chassis J bar. That's going to go up even a little bit higher. We did that on the first one, so we could. So it's really wanting us to get that up there. J bars on both ends. Stagger, and then it gets into a right rear spring. Okay, we down a little. And for the sake of the video, do this exaggerated. I normally wouldn't do this, but we'll see. That says our deck's too high. We're gonna lower the right side first because that gets our left rear bite up. Well, let's see how that does. And keep in mind, I'm rushing through it. I'm not running as many laps. I am exaggerating the adjustments. See, now it's not wanting to turn into it at all. A lot easier to keep straight. And you immediately run a 49. So one thing I have noticed is our RPMs are lower. So that means to me, through the corner, we're getting the power to the ground. We're not sliding around everywhere. We're not sliding around everywhere, especially off the exit. So now the next thing I'm going to do, change my gear a little bit, see if we can't get a little bit more speed out of it. This is going to be the last adjustment because we've been running, we were up around 16 and a half constantly on the iRacing setup. We did run a 4.9 just kind of goofing around. And we've been constantly around the 15.0, and it's been, the car's a lot more controllable. Still seems to be bogging down a little bit. I'm gonna jump up. So I do like the way that car sets. We're saving that. I'm gonna give her just a pinch more gear. Exaggerating for time constraints. Now I feel like we're right on the edge of being loose, spinning. But we've also loosened the car up a little bit. You can just tell with more wheel speed, we've kind of just done that. So I'm going to go back. We're going to go up, back to the entry. We're going to try to tighten this sucker up a little bit more. I know we still got some there. Don't have any there. Have any on the J bar? We stiffen up the left front. So if this doesn't work, this is going to be extreme. If this doesn't work, then I'm going to say we're just in a touch too high gear and we just need to go down a little bit. It just feels like run a couple different lines with this setup. What my next move would probably be, this gives me a starting spot, so my next move would probably be to load the track in at like 40%, 30 or 40%, and start the process over and try to get a feature set going. But we're not blazing any speeds here. We do have a very controllable car. We ran a 4.9. We ran a 4.9. I do know that the bottom is fast here too. Sometimes feature setups and things like that. Appreciate you all looking on the video. Like I said, if you don't have the cheat sheet, the link to the other video is going to be in the description below. Go check that out. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that thumbs up. We're just trying to get some free information out for everybody to get better at adjusting their own setups. The idea behind it is to give you what each thing's going to do, and then as you read and do research and things like that, you will start to figure out why raising this spring and lowering this spring and yada 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 will will do what it does to the car. That's going to be it for the video. I hope you all enjoyed. Hit that subscribe button. I'll hopefully be putting up a feature setup here pretty soon. Stay tuned.